Hi everyone, my name is Christine and I'm the founder of Dear Survivor. We are in maybe week 5 or 6 of quarantine, I have no idea anymore, but it also is Fashion Revolution Week and Earth Day is on Wednesday. So I wanted to make a quick video sharing about how I have made Dear Survivor a more sustainable brand. Yeah, so enjoy. So there are a lot of different definitions of sustainability, different ways that various brands can become more sustainable from how they source things, the quantities that they manufacture. I'm not even going to pretend to know everything about this. I'm just going to share with you how I have made Dear Survivor more sustainable. And my way of doing that is working with upcycled material exclusively. I'm not generating more demand for virgin materials. To me, that's just what makes sense. There's so much waste already in the world created from making other things. So like my brain just works in the how can we take their byproduct, what would end up in landfill, and turn that into something new and better, and hopefully something that you want to have for a long time so it doesn't, get thrown away after 6 months. So that's sustainability for Dear Survivor. As a kid, I remember making stuff out of egg cartons and newspaper, making beads out of newspaper. I don't know, just all this stuff that I did with my family. So that's just stayed with me into my adult life. I love transforming old fabrics, vintage tablecloths, into new beautiful garments just for myself. I've never sold them or anything. But yeah, for me, design in general, I just love figuring out how to transform one thing into something new. So one of the challenges of working with upcycled materials is figuring out how to scale. In 2018, I was trying to figure out how to streamline sustainability into my business. So how to, working with a lot of wholesale clients, there's large orders, expectations for quantity and consistency. So yeah, I started trying to figure out how to create a product that was sustainable and I also could make a lot of. That's when it dawned on me. I had started initially as a purse maker, making leather bags, backpacks, duffel bags, and I had been saving my scrap leather for years, piles and piles of it, because you inevitably have so much scrap after making a purse. There's just odd shapes left over of the leather and it's just too good to throw away. So I had been saving it for forever, and yeah, one day I was in my studio working and it just dawned on me. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can make earrings out of these. They're going to be lightweight. They're going to be fun and cute and big. And that's how I came up with my current designs. And yeah, because then it was like, okay, well, I only have, this much of this color, this much of this texture. And it dawned on me that a factory had to have so much scrap that they were throwing out. Because if I was just one person making a handful of bags, a factory who's making hundreds, if not thousands of purses is going to have so much waste. So I contacted one that I knew in Los Angeles. I was like, do you guys sell your scrap? And they were like, yes, please come and get it. Because it helps them. The factory gets extra money. They're not throwing it into landfill. I'm able to transform it into something new and offer it to you guys. So it's great. I love that. So that's kind of how my leather earrings came about, was seeing a problem in my actual industry and creating a solution to it. So once I started working with the recycled leather, my brain has kind of just continued thinking what other materials are out there that I can work with. Last fall, I expanded my collection to include recycled rubber and Pinatex, which is a leather-like material that is made from the leaves of a pineapple after the fruit is harvested. And then, as you know, this spring, I've finally been able to include recycled metals. So recycled brass is what we're working with. If I ever do anything that's gold or silver, that will also have been recycled, lived one life, melted down, transformed it into something new. It feels limited in one sense of I'm not going to order the beautiful acetate that everyone is getting from Italy and making, those cool earrings with. I'm not going to do that because that's a new material. I'm going to just try to figure out something else. So I have been working on trying to develop some recycled plastic pieces, like just working with like the scrap from a local plastic manufacturer. But yeah, like I said, a lot of things have been put on hold, and I don't know, like moving forward, which things will I'll actually be able to fully develop. Going back to how the conversation used to be around ethical and it's now around sustainable, I think that's because sustainability involves the way that you treat people that you, like the manufacturers, the people you work with, making sure that like their lives are also sustainable, like their income is sustainable, like they can, you know, pay their bills, make a living off of the work you're providing for them. So that's also a huge part of thing, is just making sure that I'm doing everything ethically, everything above board, working as locally as possible. I work with Refugee Artisan Initiative up in Seattle. They are the ones that make all of my leather earrings. I cut the material, send it to them, they assemble, send it back. They just did like a big load for me beginning of March. I got the order. So we have like a good amount of product right now for earrings. And then all my brass pieces, which personally is my favorite thing right now. Like that's what's giving me the most life when I work on. My caster works in the same building as me. I mean, we're both like sheltering at home now, but he is still going into the office like every now and then, and he's able to like still make stuff for me. So that's the reason I've been able to actually keep putting out new products and working on things, which is wild. And I'm so thankful that we're able to keep working. And I think that is one thing also about sustainability, is like working locally, working with people that you can sometimes meet face to face and talk to. Yeah, knowing the source of your things rather than just blindly ordering things off of Amazon or Alibaba. Like just knowing the origin of your things is so important. For me, that's what sustainability is just being able to oversee everything, ensure that like my products are not hurting anybody. They're not, you know, taking away from the environment. And it's not easy to get there. Like it takes time. It takes a lot of intention. It takes research, which is fun. Like I like that side of it. I love my days where I'm able to just like get on the computer and start researching like new sustainable technology and, you know, finding people that have scrap somewhere that I can go pick up from them. And yeah, I don't know. There's always going to be ways that I can be improving. I'm not 100% zero waste. Like I'm never going to say that about my brand. There's always going to be waste coming from something, be it like packaging, be it the way that things were shipped to me. I do also create scrap from what I make. Like there is always going to be some byproducts still. I always am trying to find like creative solutions for those. So like when I can donate them to like elementary schools, like art classes or something, as materials to like teach kids that they can, you know, work with recycled stuff, like when I was a kid and learned that. So yeah, I'm always trying to find places like that to give my scrap to, but there's still waste, and that's just the reality of it. One of the things that I struggle with is feeling like I have no impact. I'm not a big enough brand to like have like large effects, like, and that sometimes I can just get really discouraged about that. It was great because a couple months ago I was talking to a very big shoe brand who reached out to me because they were wanting to profile smaller designers that were doing sustainable things. I was sharing that with her of like, you know, I feel like what I'm doing doesn't count. And she had said, she's like, no, because that's not true, because like brands like you are inspire what bigger brands like us to want to be a part of this too. And that just like helped me so much, because I was like, wow, it just feels like such a small thing that I'm doing. Like my efforts are hardly making like a drop in like the grand scheme of things. But if we all play our part and do what we can, I think that, yeah, beautiful, positive environmental change can happen in the world. We can treat people better with our manufacturing. We can leave less of an impact. And that's just that's what we need. So that's sustainability for Dear Survivor. Always looking for creative solutions, trying to be mindful of people and planet above profits, figuring out new ways to do things. Creative solutions are what I'm all about. So I want to leave you guys with a quote from sustainable designer Gabriella Hearst. She said, "Waste is a design flaw that does not exist in nature." So if you're a designer looking to become more sustainable, just chew on that. I think it's a really interesting point and very true. So yeah, thanks guys for watching.